Okay, so we're going to be talking about parts of similar triangles. There's a video where I go through the proofs, and I'll do that in class, but I don't think that you need it for your explanations. So triangle proportionality theorem basically says if DE, in this case line DE, is parallel to segment BC, or just BC, then AD over DB is equal to AE over EC. Okay, top part over bottom part. So it's basically top part over bottom part is equal to top part over bottom part. Okay. But what you need to see is that the relationship between these two sides is not that. It's not the same as that right there. So knowing that, by over bd would be equal to tm over te. Okay. And this one is ay. So ay over am. So those two whole sides is equal to dy over em. So we look for that correspondence. Last one is te over bd is equal to what over AD? Well, the corresponding side would be AE over AD. So we're really careful about those relationships. I'm actually going to add one here. So I'm going to erase what I have. It's not the eraser. Okay. If I did AD over ED, so AD over ED is equal to what over my? Okay, and this is where you have to be really careful what goes here. So this is a whole side. Now this is a whole side, so I'm comparing a whole side to a whole side versus before when I was doing part, or like this is a whole side, but then this is part, this is whole, and this is part. Well, this is going to be a whole to whole relationship. So when I am talking about my, well, what side would correspond to my? It would be ay. So this is going to be whole over whole. And that's the one thing that students get kind of mixed up in with this. Otherwise, these are pretty easy. This is 5 over x is equal to 6 over 4.5. This is equal to 6x is equal to 5 times 4.5. So this is 6x is equal to 22.5. And if I divide by 6, x is equal to 3.75, and that's my answer. And it makes sense in terms of the problem. Okay, our next one here, there's a whole bunch of different things. If I'm doing 5 over 9, then I'm going to be doing 6 over, and then remember that this is x plus 6. So this is 6 over x plus 6. So this is going to be 5 times x plus 6 is equal to 9 times 6. 5 times x plus 6. Actually, I don't know why I didn't do distributive property. 5x plus 30 is equal to 54. 5x, so I subtract 30, 5x is equal to 24. X is equal to 4.8. This next one, here we have a hole and a hole. This is a whole side, this is a whole side. These sides are not being split up, so I'm going to have to do 8 over 6 is equal to 14 over x. So this is 8x is equal to 6 times 14. Eight x is equal to 84. Divide by 8, divide by 8. X is equal to 10.5. And this one's just a kind of a trick question. It just has some algebra. Now, since these lines are parallel, this is split up proportionately. Okay, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at those are congruent. So 2x plus 3 must be equal to 6 minus x. And also 4/3 y plus 1 is equal to 2y. So we're going to add x. 3x plus 3 is equal to 6. Subtract 3. 3x is equal to 3. Divide by 3. X is equal to 1. So this one here is a bit more complicated. I think it's good for you to deal with the fractions, but I think we'll clear them in this case. So say I want to get rid of, I have an equation, I want to get rid of dividing by 3. I'm going to multiply each side by 3. Make sure I do distributive property. So the 3 goes here and the 3 goes here. These 3's would divide out. This ends up being 4y plus 3 is equal to 6y. 3 is equal to 2y. Y is equal to 3/2. So there we go. Okay. Next thing is talking about mid-segments. So a mid-segment is a segment whose midpoints are the endpoints of a triangle. Okay, so this is a mid-segment because this is a midpoint and this is a midpoint. Mid-segment theorem says if BD is the mid-segment of triangle ACE, then BD is equal to half of AE. Okay, which actually makes sense in terms of similarity. So we know that this triangle here and then this triangle here are similar to each other by angle, side angle. I know that the ratio, the scale factor is 1 to 2. 1 to 2. So this would be 1 and this would be 2. So I think that that should make quite a bit of sense. So we get little tricky problems like this, which aren't too bad. So I'm going to label and F, G, and H are midpoints. So I know here is congruent to here, this is congruent to this, and this side is congruent to this part. FG is 9, GH is 7, CD is 24. Okay, and it says find each measure. So you look for certain relationships. It says find CE. Well, I know that it is twice the line that's parallel to it, and I know that this one is 7, and 2 times 7 is equal to 14. Okay, DE is here. GF runs parallel to it, which means that this is going to have to be 18. Sorry, let me just go back here. I want to label this 14. So this is 18, so this is 2 times 9 is equal to 18. And last but not least, FH, which is here. Well, if this is 24, then this one has to be 12. So half of 24 is going to be 12. And then the perimeter, you just add up all the sides. So that's going to be 56. That's 24 plus 18 plus 14. Okay, so here am I going to be using, oh geez, this is misplaced. Oh, what I wanted to evaluate is GH mix, is GH a mid-segment? That's the question. So this I'm going to set up. I can't do x plus 5 over 9 is equal to 6 over 12, okay? Because again, I have this is a whole side, this is a whole side. These aren't split. So I'm going to do x plus 5 over 6 is equal to, now this is going to be x plus 5 plus 9, which is x plus 14 over 12. I cross multiply. 6 times x plus 14 is equal to 12 times x plus 5. 6x plus, what is that, 60, 84 is equal to 12x plus 60. 6x plus 60 is equal to 84. I subtract 60. 24 is equal to 6x, divide by 6, divide by 6, x is equal to 4. And 4 plus 5 equals equals 9. So GH is a midsegment because EG is equal to GD, or is congruent to GD, because they were both 9. So that kind of solves both of them. Okay. Next example, find the missing values below. Well, I know since these are congruent and these are congruent, this is a midsegment. So I know 2 times 7x must be equal to 17x minus 18. Or you can do 7x is equal to 1/2 17x minus 18. I prefer this one. 2 times the smaller is equal to larger. So that's 14x is equal to 17x minus 18. Subtract 17x. Negative 3x is equal to negative 18. Divide by negative 3. X is equal to 6. And this next one, I know that this is a mid segment, so I know these two parts are equal. So I know 3y minus 9 must be equal to 2y plus 6. So I'm going to subtract 2y. Y minus 9 is equal to 6. Y is equal to 15. Okay, the other thing I know, this relationship, I know 2 of the smaller is equal to the larger. Okay, so I'm going to distribute this first. So this is 2x plus 4 is equal to 5/3 x plus 11. Say I want to clear my fractions, so I multiply each side by 3. So that's 6x plus 12 is equal to, so I distribute the 3 here and the 3 here, that's going to be 5x plus 33. Subtract 5x. X plus 12 is equal to 3. Oh, I don't know. I did that. 5x plus 33. Oh, this is 33. There we go. Sorry, guys. Minus 12. X is equal to 21. There we go. All right. The last thing's a little silly. If two triangles are similar, then the parts below will also be proportional to the corresponding sides. So the altitudes are proportional. So I know PQ over TU would be equal to QR over UV, which would be equal to PR over TV, but also the altitudes are proportional. So QA over UW. Okay, with the medians, you know, PQ over TU is equal to QR over UV, which is equal to PR over TV, which these medians are also proportionate. So also QM over UY. So also the medians are proportionate. And then last but not least, our angle bisectors. So again, we know PQ over TU is equal to QR over UV, which is equal to PR over TV, which is equal to QV over UX. So the medians are also. So that said, these are pretty simple to set up. So this is for the medians. I know HL over XZ is equal to the median over the median. So I guess we didn't have any letters for the median, so we're just going to do it this way. So I know 18 over side is equal to median over median. Okay, so that's going to be 18x is equal to 15 times 10. 18x is equal to 150. So this is going to be divide by 18, divide by 18. X is equal to 8 and 1/3, or you can simplify your 150 over 18. Same thing with this guy right here. We're solving for x. I know x over 14 is equal to 10 over 8. So I know 8x is equal to 14 times 10. 8x is equal to 140. And x is equal to 17.5 because we're not asking to be for rounding at all. And I know 38 over x is equal to 32 over 24. 32x is equal to 38 times 24. (32x) is equal to 912. X is equal to 28.5. So just pretty simple. The medians, you just set up a proportion because all of those parts are congruent or proportionate to each other. Last thing is what's called angle bisector theorem. So this one's a little bit more interesting. I do the proof on the front with this, but you guys don't need to worry about that too much. So basically, if BD bisects angle ABC, okay? Now here is something that's interesting, is if I actually draw this line down and make a triangle here. So we have this blue, light blue triangle right here. We'll call this E. If I make this parallel, these two lines are parallel to each other, so I know CB over EB is equal to CD over AD, because it's top over bottom equals top over bottom here. So top over this bottom part is equal to top over the bottom part. So what's interesting is if these angles are congruent to each other, then this angle has to be congruent to this angle, and this angle has to be congruent to those angles. These are alternate interior, and these two are corresponding, which means that this side EB is the same as that side there. So not only is CB, so if I have CB over EB is equal to CD over AD, but we don't have EB, but we do know that EB is congruent to AB. So I can actually change this to CB over AB is equal to CD over AD. Okay. So, but you won't see all that. So it's CB over AB is equal to CD over AD. So with that said, this is a little bit different because this is one triangle. So when you're given one triangle and nothing's parallel, this is the relationship. So sometimes I try and think like, well, if I folded this side out, this would be 6 centimeters. So I know 10 over 6 equals x over 4.5. So that would be 6x is equal to 10 times 4.5. 6x is equal to 45. Divide by 6, divide by 6, x is equal to 15 over 2, which is 7.5, I believe. For this one, again, I just take this x and I kind of flip it out. So, but basically it's whole side over whole side. So this is going to be 36 over x is equal to, well, this is going to be 39 minus 15, which is 24, is equal to, so top over bottom equals 24 over 15. So that's 24x is equal to 36 times 15, which is 540. Divide by 24. X equals 22.5. Last two. Okay, you can also add the parts. So this right here would be 20, so this whole side would be 50. So I could do 30 top part over 50. So 30 over 50 is equal to x over 28. Okay, now you could simplify before. If I gave you no calculator, this would be 3 over 5 is equal to x over 28. 5x is equal to 3 times 28. Okay, so 5x is equal to 84. Divide by 5, x is equal to 16.8. And last but not least, it's going to be, now again, I just flip this side out. So this is going to be 30. So this whole side is going to be 48. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at as far as a triangle goes. So you add this. So add these. All right, and so this is going to be 12 over x is equal to 18 over 48, which is 18x is equal to 12 times 48, which is 576. Divide by 18, divide by 18. X is 32. And that's about it for those notes. Hopefully this helped.